5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 521 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I'm your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Fade the Public Friday. Happy final day of the month of May. That's right, finishing up our work week, finishing up the month of May. Next time I see you guys, it'll be Monday, June 1st. So, man, spring is flying by. When does summer officially begin? I don't know when, but it's got to be close here. But we're going to see if we can wrap up the month of May on a high note here, guys. I do have a 3-pack of MLB plays for you. Don't we just love betting Major League Baseball? That's right. System matches, sharp mush edges, rhythm edges. Again, low bets, higher dollars, line moves. You guys know the drill. So we're going to get right back to betting Major League Baseball. I have two very short favorites. One team, it's almost hard to believe how short. This team is so good, it's hard to believe how short this number is in a historical spot that they typically do well in. And then also, going to get down on a dog here. Maybe you can get a little bit of plus money if you can. But with two short money line favorites and a very short dog, if we can go 2-1, eke out a winning day, that'll be a nice little return in terms of a bet twist versus bet to win. But before we get to that, guys, just want to mention, as always, and remind you guys, talked about it last couple days. It officially went live yesterday. I've already seen a bunch of people sign up, so thank you already. But come on down. Come join the Appelbaum World Cup Survivor Contest. Once again, I'm teaming up with Splash Sports. They are the best around when it comes to contests. And I think it's just kind of, when you're grinding baseball and different sports every single day, you're obviously looking at the slate tonight. Yeah, you're betting some futures. But to me, the Survivor contests are just a fun way to kind of build your bankroll, hopefully capitalize on specific events. Like, again, NFL is the best, of course, but March Madness. And then, of course, the World Cup. Because, again, I make the joke, the Dos Equis guy, I don't always bet soccer or football, as they like to call it internationally, but when I do, it's the World Cup. So already have had a bunch of people sign up. I'd love for you guys to throw your hat in the ring. This is a $25 entry fee, but you could win upwards of $22,000 if you are able to be the last man or woman standing in the Appelbaum World Cup Survivor Contest with Splash Sports. I've had a lot of people reach out, number one, saying, "Oh, thanks for inviting me." You might have gotten a direct message from me on Twitter because I'm a guerrilla marketer. Again, I'll be tweeting this out just so you can always get it from my Twitter page at Josh_insights. You can also sign up via the bio description of the pod on Spotify, iTunes. There should be just a link there you can click. But I've had a few people say, "Oh, thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for inviting me, but I'm not a soccer person." And let me just reply to you with, I'm not a soccer person either. So it's a lot of fun. If you listen to this pod, you're probably data-driven, data-minded, and what you're doing is, and even though I can't name anyone other than David Beckham and Ronaldo and a couple of these other players here, but you don't really have to know a lot about soccer. I know next to nothing about soccer. I'm not a soccer bettor, but the World Cup's every 4 years. I wanna get in on the fun. I know but as I mentioned before, my buddy's throwing a big World Cup party. He's getting a projector in his backyard so we can sweat the Brazil game. And this is going to just take over and become an insane event for upwards of over a month long. So, hey, $25 to get in on the fun, and who knows, maybe you might even win the whole thing. A nice $20K little bonus wouldn't be too bad. And then also, I've had people reach out about the rules. It's a little confusing, but it's not when you really think about it. The first thing is you have to pick 4 teams to get out of the group stage. So this all closes on June 11th. So you have until June 11th, but come on in. Get in now. Sign up now and spread the link and give it to your friends. But there's all these different groups. I don't know. There's 10, 15 different groups, 20 groups. You just have to pick 4 teams to advance out of their group stage. And then from there, you go into the knockout round. So I think it's like 4 or 5 rounds, get to the championship game. We talked yesterday about, saving some of the better teams. So, saving, France or another good team, Brazil, until later in the stages. But here's the thing. The sportsbooks are going to give you odds for each team to get out of their group. And then you're going to be able to look at like polymarket prediction markets. I know Nate Silver was always really good at predictions. So you may not know a lot of these teams or can name me a single player, but you can still, if you're data-minded, data-driven, which if you're listening to this pod, I would assume you are, you can still pick a team to advance, have some fun, start with the group stage, pick those 4. Obviously, try not to pick your champion there because you want to save them till later. But it all starts with the group stage, pick 4, move on, and then it's 1 pick per knockout round. So come on down. Please join. The more the merrier, and the more entries, the bigger the pot for whoever wins the whole thing. So you can, again, sign up for the Appelbaum World Cup Survivor Contest with Splash Sports. It is available now as we speak. Come on down. I'd like to see a bunch more entries today, and I want to see someone who listens to the pod end up taking home $20K or so. With that being said, real quick recap of last night, guys. 1-1 minus 0.29 units. Had a great hit to start today with the White Sox. 6-2 winner over the Twins. Unfortunately, Paul Skeens, I was so excited to sweat Paul Skeens because I don't really bet on him a ton and don't watch a ton of his games. I know he's great. I mean, he went like 5 innings, gave up 1 run, which for anybody would be great. I don't know. There was some bad defense behind him, and then the Cubs bats really just popped off in the last 8th, 9th inning. So couldn't get the Pirates there. They lost 7-2 to the Cubs, but did get the White Sox. So went 1-1 minus 0.29 units. So we're going to see if we can get back in the green, have a winning day today, and finish off the week in the month of May on a winning note. So sign up for the World Cup Survivor. And now let's talk about some MLB plays here for tonight. So huge slate overall, 15 games. So that means we got a lot of games to choose from. And I settled on 3 that really caught my eye. Again, all short prices. So let's try to eke out a 2-1. So first but on the board, let's go to Cleveland, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've never been. I'd like to go one day. But the Red Sox visiting the Guardians, 7:10 p.m. Eastern time, first pitch. Let's talk line moves, split system matches, rhythm, juice reel, and I'll give you my play for this one. So Red Sox come in 23-32. Pathetic as a Red Sox fan, but that's what you get when you don't spend money and your GM is terrible. Let's trade Kyle Harrison for Caleb Durbin. Harrison's like a Cy Young contender, and Durbin is hitting like a $160. Anyway, the Red Sox 23-32 just dropped 2 of 3 against the Braves. Lost yesterday's series finale 10-2 as a +115 home dog. Meanwhile, the Guards 33-25. They just lost 2 of 3 against the Nationals, but did avoid the sweep. They won that series finale 3-2 as a -180 home favorite. So pitching matchup for tonight, Red Sox are going with the lefty opener Tyler Samaniego. He's 0-2 with a 1.04 ERA. Meanwhile, the Guards are going to go with the righty Slade Sassoni, who's 3-5 with a 5.18 ERA. So what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened with Cleveland listed as a very short -120 home favorite. Red Sox are on a +100 road dog. And Sharps have jumped on the Guardians, laying a very short number here. I like Cleveland, guys. Cleveland's gotten steamed up -120, now up to -130. Some shops, again, -125, -130. But we've seen this line move in favor of the Guards. And in particular at Circa, really good bet split on Cleveland. Cleveland is only getting 63% of moneyline bets, but 96% of moneyline dollars. So it tells me out in Vegas, you got a lot of big money going with Cleveland here. A lot of system matches lighting up on Cleveland. So let's just run through a few of them. 1, if you are an above 500 home favorite, cheap -140 or less, facing a below 500 team, those teams are 28-14, 67%, 21% ROI this year. If you're a sweet spot home favorite, priced between -125 and -150, and you made the postseason the previous year, and your opponent also made the postseason the previous year, that system is 45-19, 70% with a 24% ROI since the start of last year. Cleveland also just has some additional betting system and correlative betting value. So betting system value as a non-division favorite, lack of familiarity, benefiting quote-unquote the better team, and also a correlative betting favorite low total. The favorite around -130, total in this game is 8. So fewer amount of expected runs scored, more likely to come from quote-unquote that better team expected to win. Next, Cleveland has a good rest versus tired advantage because the Guardians were off yesterday, and before they were off, they had a homestand against the Nats, so they're off and haven't traveled at all. Red Sox played yesterday in Boston, now they travel to Cleveland. So one team's rested, the other team's tired. Sassoni, who they picked up in, is it Sassoni? I can never get the guy's name right. Knock on wood, I hope he pitches well. But they picked him up in a trade with the D-backs. And his numbers overall, I gave you them a second ago, 3-5, 5.18 ERA, not very good. but he's actually pitched pretty well recently. In his last 4 starts, he has a 2.97 ERA. He's only given up 7 earned runs in 21.2 innings pitched. Cleveland is 4-1 in his last 5 starts, and on the road, not very good, 5.74 ERA, but at home, 3.60. So a short opener for Cleveland. The line's gone further in their favor. Good splits, a lot of system matches, rest versus tired. And oh, by the way, popped open juice reel, noticed an 11% sharp mush edge on Cleveland. So the Sharps who have downloaded, like you out there listening, the app Juice Reel, also going with Cleveland. So first but on the board, guys, going Guardians. I got them minus 120 at the Score, formerly ESPN Bet. Shop around, though, a lot of books now minus 125, minus 130, but still relatively short chalk price. Let's go Guards. Next one for you. 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch. The Detroit Tigers facing the Chicago White Sox. Now, Tigers come in 22-35, big disappointing year. They were really good last year. They've lost 2 or 3 against the Angels. Just dropped yesterday's series finale to the Angels 7-1 as a minus 140 home favorite. Meanwhile, the White Sox, kind of the other way here. They are playing pretty well. 29-27. When was the last time they were above 500? Must be a while. I know my buddy Darush knows the answer to that because he's a big Southsiders fan. But they just took 3 or 4 against the Twins. Had a big win for us yesterday, 6-2, as a minus 175 home favorite. So tonight's series opener, Tigers are going to go with the righty Troy Melton. He's 1-0 with a 1.59 ERA. Meanwhile, the White Sox are going to go with a righty opener, Brandon Eisert, who's 0-0 with a ERA of 5. Now, what have we seen across the market? Well, this game opened Detroit around a minus 125 road favorite, Chicago around a plus 105 home dog, and Sharps, you could think, okay, Detroit struggled, but again, it's a low number for the Tigers. They were a playoff team last year. Or do they say, hey, White Sox playing well, a little bit of plus money at home? Well, they're going with the latter because this line has dropped away from Detroit. They've gone from minus 125 now down to around minus 120, minus 115. Meanwhile, the lines move towards Chicago, plus 105 to now about even money. Some books even like minus 102, minus 103. So it tells us that we got a lot of big money on the Southsiders. I'm going White Sox here, guys. DraftKings, 59% bets, 67% dollars on the White Sox. Over at Circa, 80% bets, over 90% dollars on the White Sox. So the line's moving towards Chicago, and we got the low bets, higher dollars from both DK and Circa in favor of Chicago. Bunch of good system matches. Home dogs off a win. Very simple. Home dogs off a win. 71-66, 52%, 11% ROI this year. Chicago would also have that betting system and correlative betting value as a divisional dog in a high total game. Total in this one is 8.5. It's kind of juiced over minus 120. That would be a dog high total, so more expected runs scored, more variance, more upset opportunities, but then also divisional dog. Built-in familiarity levels the playing field. If you go a step further, a divisional dog off a win, 63-54 this year, 54%. And if you're a 54% system on a plus money dog system, that's a good ROI, 20% ROI. Now, the White Sox have the better bats. Let's hope they get to Melton. I think both these guys might be openers. But the White Sox are hitting or have posted a 402 slugging percentage, 262 runs scored. Tigers, 370 slug, 218 runs scored. White Sox, pretty good at home, 17-11. Good at night, 18-12. Detroit, 8-21 on the road. That's the worst road record in baseball. Let's keep it the worst. And they are just 11-26 in night games. So line is clearly going away from Detroit toward the White Sox. We have a divisional dog. We got good splits. We have a 10% sharp mush edge from our friends at Juice Reel on Chicago. So I'm taking a shot on the Southsiders. Now, I got the White Sox plus 102 at Bally Bet, but definitely shop around because some books or most books are like even money or even like minus 102, minus 105. So try to get as much plus money, just a cent or two if you can. But second play for me, White Sox plus 102. Last play of the night. Let's stay up late. And unfortunately, this is on Apple TV, I believe. So they're probably going to make me pay $10 to get a monthly pass. But I might need it because I got to sweat this game. And it is 10:15 p.m. Eastern Time. The Phillies playing and visiting in Hollywood the LA Dodgers. So Phillies come in 29-27. Remember, they were terrible. They fired Thompson. They brought in Mattingly. They've been really good ever since. They just swept the Padres, won that series finale 3-0 as a -145 road favorite. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, doing what the Dodgers do, 36-20, just swept the Rockies, won that series finale 4-1 as a massive -450 home favorite. Quick comment, I noticed that there was a big article about Major League Baseball wanting a salary cap and proposing a salary cap for the first time since 1994 when there was a strike, when I believe the Expos were by far and away the best team and probably going to win it all. And then they get the strike and season's over. But again, I am all for a salary cap in baseball. I think it'll level the playing field, make the bad teams who spend no money spend more. There'll be a floor. I think it's like $170 million. And then there's going to be a cap that's like $300 million. Anyway, my curiosity, I don't know if it's going to happen because the players union, they definitely do not want that. But I think it would definitely benefit baseball. And I'm just wondering with the Dodgers, your payroll is like $450 million, and that's even with Ohtani, all that deferral money. How does that level the playing field? Like, do the Dodgers come back down to earth if there's a salary cap? You know they don't want one. Anyway, interesting just thought overall. But for tonight, we have the Phillies going with the righty Zach Wheeler. He's 4-0 with a 1.67 ERA. Dodgers, meanwhile, going with the lefty Justin Robleski. He's 6-2 with a 3.07 ERA. So what have you seen across the market? Well, this game opened, Dodgers listed as a very short -115 home favorite. Philly a -105 road dog. And sharps, they're taking advantage of a short number on the Dodgers because we've seen this line move further toward the Dodgers, -115 up to -120. Some shops even approaching -125. And when we look at the splits, in particular at Circa out in Vegas, the Dodgers are getting 64% of moneyline bets, but 82% of moneyline dollars. Tells us big money in Vegas going with the Dodgers at this short number. Now, the Dodgers have a lot of system matches for me. If you're a home favorite off a win with a winning record and you made the playoffs the previous year, that system is 58-31, 65%, 6% ROI this year. When both teams are coming off a day off, which is also the case here, home favorite is 37-20, 65%, 10% ROI this year. And here's the system. When I'm talking about the Dodgers, I'm like, okay, it's a short number. Well, it's because Wheeler's good. Philly's a good team, obviously. But we've talked about this before. The Dodgers, in that last game in the series they just played against the Rockies, they closed at -450. -450 in a baseball game is insane. But routinely, Dodgers are -200, -250 at home. When the Dodgers are priced at -150 or less, since 2022, since they've had this crazy epic run, they are 46-21, 69% with a 21% ROI. So what that tells you is Dodgers are rarely -120 at home, even -150 or less. But when they are, they're usually a smart bet to get behind. LA also has additional correlative betting, favorite low total, total of 8, as well as a non-division favorite, lack of familiarity benefiting the better team. Dodgers have the better bats. Let's hope they can get to Wheeler and Robleski pitch as well. But the Dodgers are hitting 262, 346 on base, 440 slug, 298 runs scored. Phillies hitting 228, 297 on base, 385 slug, 223 runs scored. LA in particular, facing a righty. I know Wheeler's good, but they're hitting 264 against righties this year. That's number 1 in baseball. Phillies hitting 216 against lefties. That ranks 25th. Also, hopefully the bullpen can hold it down. Dodgers have the number 1 bullpen in baseball, 3.03 ERA. Phillies, 3.88. That is 15th in baseball. So we have a short number, value play you could call it on the Dodgers, but not just value. I think they're sharp. I know, because the low bet's higher dollars in the line move. But good system matches. Again, better bats. And that number I just gave you, Dodgers -150 or less. They're winning basically 7 out of 10 times in that spot with a 21% ROI. Lastly, popped open Juice Reel. Noticed a 25% sharp mush edge in favor of the Dodgers. So hopefully we can play some Randy Newman, I Love LA, around, 1 a.m. tonight. Because I'll be staying up late and sweating it. And that's okay with me because I do the late shift with my daughter. And she is now a little over 2 months old, which is crazy. But let's go Dodgers. Guardians, White Sox, Dodgers. All relatively cheap prices. Let's try to get 2 out of 3. Finish up the week and the month on a winning note. So that about does it for episode 521 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up And I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the pod. If you would like to help me grow this podcast, please, there's some very easy, simple, quick things you can do. Just give the pod a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Rate and review. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. If you'd also like to click the follow button, recommend the pod to a friend. Give the pod a retweet when I put it out on Twitter at Josh_insights. Any or all of those things would be very much appreciated. Next, if you enjoy this style of data-driven sports betting, you've now been provided a blueprint how to attack the market. You've learned how to read line movement, interpret splits, have some instincts that you've built over time looking for situations or spots or red flags when something is fishy or doesn't make sense. If that is the case and you want to learn more about data-driven betting, or you have someone in your life who could use some data-driven tips, or Father's Day is coming up, you got to get a gift for dad or your son or your uncle or grandpa or whoever, then I would love for you to go to Amazon.com and type in the Everything Guide to Sports Betting, or type in the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. Grab one or both of my books. You'd make my day, and then you can bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or a ginger ale. We'll get some Cracker Jacks. We'll have some fun, sweat some baseball together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My two favorite sports betting apps. They help me win. They're going to help you win because they're all about the data. I just consider them another sharp box to check off when you're building a case, deciding whether or not to bet on a game. So Rhythm, great for their AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. And then, of course, Juice Reel. So many great features. You can sync up your sports books, got a running report card of your action, know your strengths and weaknesses. And then also, you can get the Robo Jackson Best Bet Picks, the Sharp Mush Indicators, the Arbitrage Plays, the Shop for the Best Line Futures. And then even if you want to go a step further and really make my day, I would love for you to sign up and support the pod. Toss in a $10 bill or a little bit more if you want into the tip jar and get the ASG Best Bet Picks. Because as soon as I make the play, as soon as I bet it at my book, it goes right to the ASG podcast profile on Juice Reel. You can click buy, sell, bottom right corner, search box, just type in ASG. You can sign up to get a free 7-day trial to track the plays for a week. If you want to continue, it costs $9.99 a week. That is the equivalent of $1.42 a day. It would be $24.99 for a month's worth of plays. That's a 35% discount. That's 83 cents a day. And if you really want to be a hero, buy a full year of ASG Best Bet Picks for $199.99. That is the equivalent of 55 cents a day. But anyone who has signed up to get the plays or is thinking about it, I appreciate you. And again, it's a way to support the pod. This pod's free. Toss in a few bones in the tip jar. And it's not just for me to buy a new pair of shoes or something. It's what I would call the Baby Appelbaum Childcare Fund, which I'll be having to pay for childcare soon. My wife has 2 more months of maternity leave, and I'm getting nervous because when she goes back, it's going to be me and my daughter, me trying to work and taking care of my daughter at the same time. So say a prayer for me. But anyway, guys, download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't have one, you need one. It's such a critical tool. I would argue it's a must-have because you got to be able to track the betting market in real time. You got to know all the games available to bet that day, the start times, the live scoring, the live in-game wagering odds if you want to get down in-game. But again, all the work you're doing prior to the game starting, it really stems from the live odds page. Comparing the opening column to all the current prices, you can quickly see which direction the line has moved. For me as a data-driven bettor, the first handicap is which direction has the line moved, because that's telling you something. It's telling you where, if it's not an injury, sharp money's leaning. But then you can shop for the best line, identify steam. You can do it all with Odds Logic. So if you ever want to give a shot to Odds Logic, use this special link, oddslogic.com/Josh123. That's going to give you a 7-day free trial and 50% off your first month of service. Lastly, I mentioned it before, but come on down. Sign up for the World Cup Survivor Contest with Splash Sports. $25 could win you $20,000. So come join. You can find the link on my Twitter page at Josh_insights. So that about does it for episode 521 of the ASG pod on a big Friday. Wrapping up the month of May. 2 final thoughts as always. 1, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plainridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire. We're out in the desert. where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweat and Sharp Contrarian plays jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. Wherever it may be, you're going to walk up to me, show me a beautiful Southsiders ticket. First one's on me, next one's on you. We'll post about the book. Sweat Sharp Contrarian plays all night long. So as always, guys, coming off a 1-1, a 2-0, an 0-2, a winning day, a losing day, a hot streak, a cold streak, a great month of betting, a terrible month of betting. We just can't get too high when things are good or too low when things are bad. We know that the betting market is difficult. We got to overcome the juice, overcome bad beats. We got to learn to identify games with value and lay off the ones that don't. But here's the thing. Even though betting's hard, it's challenging. It's rewarding when you do well. It gives you perspective when you're struggling. But we embrace that challenge. So we're always looking for games that fit our model. Not our gut instinct, but the model. Against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, avoid parlays and get that CLV. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So I hope everyone has a great Friday night. Have an even better weekend. And then I'll see you back on Monday to kick off the month of June. That will be episode 522 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and have a great Friday night. Good luck.